I thank the gentleman for yielding. I support this bill, but I think there's something of immediate import that needs to be discussed, so I'm going to diverge just a little bit from the subject matter. Yesterday, Ahmed Ghailani, 36, who was involved in the killing of Americans at the embassies in Tanzania and elsewhere in Kenya, killed 224 people, including 12 Americans. The military tribunal down at Guantanamo was prepared to try him, but the administration and our Justice Department said he should be tried in civil court in New York and there would be justice meted out. He was indicted on 286 counts for murdering Americans and others at our embassies in those two countries, and he was let off on all but one count. 285 counts were ruled out. He killed Americans. He's a terrorist. He worked with Osama bin Laden. He bought the dynamite. He bought the telephone that set off the dynamite. He took the detonators to his house and stored them there. He is a murderer. He's a terrorist. Now, right now, we have American men and women serving in our embassies around the world, and this is the kind of message we're sending, that terrorists can get away with killing Americans in our embassies. It's unconscionable that this administration and the Justice Department should let this happen. If you look back in history, this kind of an incident would have been tried in a military tribunal, and they wanted to do it. But our Justice Department and our president said no, they would get justice in the civil court. They got justice all right, but did we, the American people? We've sent a message to terrorists around the world that, hey, you could kill Americans, but you'll get off pretty light if you get into an American courtroom. Isn't that tragic? It's tragic. They're cutting off heads of people. They're blowing up embassies. They're blowing up ships. They flew a plane into the World Trade Centers on 9/11. And the mastermind behind that is down at Guantanamo. Are we going to try him in a civil case in New York? That's what they want to do. And if they do that, are we going to let him off? He was the mastermind behind 9/11 that killed over 3,000 people. I would just say, if I were talking to the president, and I wish I could, I'd say, Mr. President, this is a travesty of justice, and your Justice Department should be instructed to try these people in military tribunals. No more of this baloney. Americans' lives are at stake, and the security of America's at stake.